So very good afternoon, dear learners. I am Sudhanshu Sekhar Panda, Assistant Professor in History. So today we'll talk about the relationship of archaeology with other disciplines, that is the history, relationship with history, relationship with other anthropology, geology, geography, botany, zoology, etc. So PHI 104, that is the basic principles and methods in archaeology. So dear learners, what is the relationship of archaeology with other disciplines? Why we study about the different disciplines? What is the relation? Especially for example, archaeology, in previous class we already discussed that archaeology is a interdisciplinary field that studies the human past through material remains such as artifacts, structures, landscapes. So disciplines like history, anthropology, geography, it helps to understanding the cultural and social context of archaeological discoveries. For example, if you talk about the Paleolithic period, if you talk about the Mesolithic period, Neolithic period, there are many archaeological sites which gives detailed accounts about the periods, especially linked with different disciplines. Scientific fields such as geology, chemistry and physics, it provides techniques for dating, analysis and preservation of artifacts. Remember that, dear learners, for dating we found out the exact date of a particular artifact. So environmental science like botany and zoology to help reconstruct the ancient environments like the diet, the subsistence patterns, their agriculture, etc. Besides that, epigraphy and numismatics. What is epigraphy? The study of inscriptions. What is numismatics? The study of coins. So both as a part of subject, both epigraphy and numismatics is assist for deciphering inscriptions. For example, there are many number of OSOU inscriptions found in India and abroad. So these inscriptions gives a vivid account of a particular king, their achievements, conquest, etc. So and coins, especially the coins found in archaeological sites, it gives a detailed account about the trade and commerce, the maritime activities, the economic power, etc. So now first of all, let's start the relationship of archaeology with history. So study of human past. History is called the study of human past. Archaeology and history both focus on the understanding human civilization and past societies. For example, archaeology study materials remains like potteries, tools, structures, while history mainly relies on written records. But what about the ancient civilizations? If we talk about the Indus Valley civilization, archaeological discoveries help historians to reconstruct the life, culture and economy of ancient societies. For example, excavation at Dholavira, the one of the most important site of Indus Valley civilization, revealed the urban planning, artifacts and trade evidence that help historians to understand the Indus Valley civilization. Besides that, it also focuses on the prehistoric period. Especially, archaeology becomes the primary source for information regarding the prehistorical period like Stone Age, helping historians to understanding the early human life. It also studies on the material culture. Everyday objects like pottery, ornaments, tools, weapons, these materials helps to understand lifestyle, technology and economic activities of prehistoric peoples. Now let's talk about the relationship of archaeology and geology. You know about the geology, that is the one term is the stratigraphy. What is stratigraphy? It to the study of the soil layers, that is called strata. Geology helps archaeologists to understand the layer of the soil, while during an excavation, each artifact found in each layer, which helps to determine the relative age and subsequence of archaeological remains. Besides that, it also helps in the dating of archaeological sites. Now, the relationship, it also discusses about the understanding the site formation. It explains the natural process such as erosion, flooding, natural calamities, sedimentation that affect the archaeological sites. This helps archaeologists to understand how artifacts was buried or preserved. Now it also helps to identification of raw materials. There are a number of types of raw materials like chalk, jasper, then many type of stone artifacts. It also study to identify the type of artifacts that are used by the prehistoric people. Now let us discuss about the relationship of archaeology and geography. What is the relationship of archaeology and geography? First of all, geography helps archaeologists to understand why ancient choose specific locations for settlement. Especially if you talk about the Indus Valley civilization, Chinese civilization, Mesopotamia civilization, Egypt civilization, all these ancient civilizations were settled down near the river valley areas. Why? Because factors such as water, fertile land, favorable climate, development of agriculture, farming, etc. were helpful for growth of human life. And also it discussed about the physical features and human activity. Geographical features like rivers, mountains, plains, valleys greatly influenced about the ancient human past. Many early civilizations developed near river valleys. It also about the settlement patterns, how the distribution of pattern of archaeological sites. It explained how the communities were organized across landscapes on all regions. It also talk about the environment. For example, the study of climate, environment helps the archaeologist the living condition of past societies. Then it also focus on the climate change. Now let us discuss about the relationship of archaeology and botany. That is the archaeo-botany. You know the archaeo-botany. It is a branch of archaeology which deals with the study of botanical remains. For example, if you find a botanical remains while doing excavation, for example, in Gujarat, in Dholavira, also in some parts of Tamil Nadu, there are some types of paddy remains which was found during the excavation by the Archaeological Survey of India. It also discussed that the study of plant remains like seeds, pollen, fruits found in an archaeological site, understanding the past vegetation, how the human living with the relationship with the plant remains, especially the archaeo-botany. The branch is called archaeo-botany, or we call the paleo-botany, study the plant remains associated with the human activities in the past. Now it also discussed about the ancient diet and food habits. Plant remains discovered at many archaeological sites in India. It also determined the food habits and patterns of ancient communities. Now let us discuss about the relationship between archaeology and zoology. That is called the Zooarchaeology. What is Zooarchaeology? It is a branch of archaeology which deals with the study of animal remains. For example, in a excavation, if you find any archaeological site during excavation, there is a animal remains, the bones, some skins of different animals. So it helps the archaeologist to analyze the animal bones, teeth, cells and other remains found in an archaeological sites. This provides essential information about the animals that lived alongside human in the past. So zooarchaeology, its special branch, zooarchaeology studies the animal remains in archaeological context. It also helps what are the humans interacted with the animals in past societies. Now the domestication of animals. This is the most important point here, learners, the domestication of animals. It also helps to identify when and how animals such as cattle, sheep, goats, dogs were domesticated, and it also discusses about the development of growth of agriculture and domestication of animals. Now let us discuss about the relationship of art history. What is art history? Art history simply means the sculptures, the paintings, ornaments, different type of arts in any archaeological cave. It interprets their artistic style, symbolism and cultural significance. For example, if you found any archaeological site, rock art sites, there are many of prehistoric rock art sites in India which gives detailed notification about their art and their culture of past societies. Now it also focuses on the understanding artistic styles. Art historians that analyzes different artistic styles and techniques used in ancient art, what type of colors that are used in ancient art, what types of paintings, what are the colors that are available in your site. So these are the, besides that, one of the important features is the iconography and symbolism. Iconography, that art historians study symbols, motifs and iconography, sculpture and paintings. This helps explain the religious beliefs and mythological themes represented in the archaeological finds. For example, in recent December 2025 in Tamil Nadu, there is a excavation by Archaeological Survey of India. There is a icon of Krishna and Balarama which was found in that particular site. So there are many types of icons which was found in archaeological site. It reveals the study about the iconography. Now the study about the ancient symbolism and ancient architecture. For example, it uncovers temples, monuments, buildings, while art history studies the architectural design, decoration and aesthetic value. Now let us discuss about the last point, that is the relationship of epigraphy and numismatics. So what is epigraphy, dear learners? Epigraphy is the study of inscriptions. And what is numismatics? Numismatics is a branch of science, or we can say the branch of archaeology which deals with the study of coins. So epigraphy is the study of ancient inscriptions which engraved on a stone, metal, pillar, temples and other objects. These inscriptions discovered during the archaeological excavations provide valuable historical information. For example, the Hathigumpha inscription of Kharavalo, it details about the reign of Kharavalo. There are a number of inscriptions found in many places by the Archaeological Survey of India, especially the Tamil inscriptions, the inscriptions of Asoka, the great Asoka, and besides that, there are a number of regional dynasties which was found, the inscription was found many regions, especially in South India. Now, the numismatics deals with the study of coins and archaeological sites. Coins helps to identify the rulers, dynasties, economic activities of ancient civilizations. Now, the identification of rulers and dynasties. Both inscriptions and coins gives the name of the kings, rulers. This helps to historians and both archaeologists to identify the different dynasties and the political stabilization. Then establishing the chronology, it also focuses on the chronological events. Now the inscription also describes about the royal order, land grants, victories, administrative systems and economic history. It also focuses on the economic history. For example, if you talk about coins, especially the gold coins, it means simply that in ancient societies, that particular dynasty, the economic condition was very good. So in that particular, especially in the field of numismatics, there are a number of developments. There are a number of coins, boards was found during any archaeological excavation, lately, especially in the South India by ASI. Then last, the relationship of history and archaeology with anthropology. What is the relationship of anthropology? Anthropology specially discuss about that the human culture and development. Archaeology focuses on material remains, while anthropology studies the cultural traditions, social behavior and human evolution. It also focuses on the understanding the past societies. Besides that, it studies the human behavior, it studies the physical anthropology, that is the both physical or biological anthropology, also studies the human skeletal remains. For example, if you recently in Kerala excavation, there are skeletal remains, there are a number of bones which was found in archaeological excavation. It discusses about that, about the ancient societies and the pastoral life of prehistoric peoples. So in conclusion, we would say that so far as the relationship of archaeology is in different aspects is concerned, it combines the humanities and scientific approach. It provides the written records and historical context. It explains the human culture and social behavior. It helps in stratigraphy and dating methods. It explains the environment and settlement patterns. Both botany and zoology, for example, the Zooarchaeology and the Archaeo-botany, both reconstruct the ancient diet, environment and the plant remains that are used by the ancient people. Together, both epigraphy and numismatics provide inscriptions and coin evidence. So overall, if we see together, all these disciplines help reconstruct a complete picture of human past. So that is all about, dear learners, about the relationship of archaeology with other disciplines. So thank you.